Theoretical physicist Albert Einstein famously argued that science and religion rely on each other. He suggested that trying to understand reality without using both of these frameworks leaves us essentially half-blind. Long before we had telescopes or mathematics, early humans stood under a vast starry sky, trying to make sense of their place in it all. We know this because archaeological digs show humans carefully burying their dead in ritualized ways, surrounded by crafted pottery, thousands of years before they even learned how to farm. By framing the laboratory and the altar as competing teams, we miss a crucial detail. These are distinct tools our species developed to map the absolute extremes of our existence. Curious. Take ancient Hindu texts, for example. Here, the entire life cycle of the cosmos is directly tied to the lifespan of a single deity, Brahma. This animated scale shows how that mythology translates into mathematics. A single year for Brahma equals roughly 3.11 trillion human years, demonstrating that ancient thinkers were already grappling with staggering scales of time. Move forward to the 1920s, and astronomer Edwin Hubble makes a physical observation. The galaxies around us are actively moving apart. Physicists realized if the cosmos is expanding outward today, you can rewind the clock. All matter compresses back into a single hot point. Calculating this speed, scientists pin the universe's birth at 13.8 billion years ago. We now have a rigorous mathematical model explaining exactly how the stars formed. But if we can map the cosmos so clearly, we must investigate why early humans invented religious frameworks in the first place. Evolutionary psychologists point out that early belief systems did not exist to stall astrophysics. They functioned as survival mechanisms, engineered to unite massive groups of people and maintain social cohesion. Ancient Sanskrit epics like the Ramayana and Mahabharata provided strict moral frameworks for large populations, establishing laws to control destructive human impulses like greed and anger, so societies could function without collapsing. Science evolved from a different instinct. Greek philosopher Aristotle observed that scientific inquiry is driven purely by our unguided curiosity about the natural world. Curiosity has no limits. It drives humans to test our biology, like a researcher deliberately injecting himself with snake venom for decades to build immunity. The scientific method is the best tool we have to determine if we can achieve a biological or technological feat. Religious and philosophical frameworks were built to debate whether we should. When rigid rules of ancient texts meet the constant updates of scientific discovery, friction is inevitable. In 1632, Galileo published mathematical evidence proving the Earth orbited the Sun, contradicting the scripture of the time. The Church responded by convicting him of heresy and placing him under house arrest for the rest of his life. Yet modern science has its own ethical blind spots. Achieving rapid technological and medical progress often requires significant moral compromises. We criticize historical religious animal sacrifices, but modern clinical trials sacrifice millions of mice, dogs, and monkeys every year to secure our medical advancements. Both institutions justify their actions by pointing toward a greater good. Today, both face ethical reckonings demanding they adapt to modern values. There is a core functional difference in how these systems handle new information. Science actively rewrites its textbooks the moment an experiment proves an old theory wrong, while religious institutions often struggle to alter doctrines written thousands of years ago. Humanity strictly requires the rigorous, falsifiable methods of the laboratory. We need massive observatories to explore the stars and aggressive clinical research to cure biological threats. But as our technological capability expands, we heavily rely on secular humanism, a moral framework with deep roots in early religious philosophy, to govern that raw power. As we push our boundaries further into the cosmos, our survival relies on two things: the brilliance of our calculations and our willingness to let our moral frameworks evolve right alongside our machines.